get ready to enter into the draft here for game number 1. Not wasting any time, we're just going to jump straight into it here. Jin Air over on the blue side, what's the first ban going to be?
It's going to be new meta or old meta. With this particular series, the Morgana hasn't touched Jin Air or Afreeca. The recent priority of that, and they're going to actually ban the Yasuo. We saw Kuro debut the pick when it comes to recent memory in spring playoffs. We also saw Aiming play a lot of it bot side, but Aiming's not in this time, and I don't see Kramer as a master Yasuo player, so I guess it could be possible. It's in my head, doesn't compute. Not playing that much of it in solo queue.
Doesn't have much to follow up on after Ghost played it there in our last series, but Morgana, the second ban away here by Jin Air.
Spirit will never ever get to play Nocturne because he's a monster Nocturne player and has played it once this season in a victory. So they are banned. Will we see a Rakan ban as the final ban from Afreeca? Maybe even a blue side ban from Jin Air, as I think the Rakan is strong pick for Nova as well. To me, it's a very contested pick. Their only victory was with Nova on Rakan engage, so Rakan's priority is higher here than in recent memory, and always the chance of a funnel on the side of Jin Air, given that we've seen Umti obliged with the funneling many, many times, and Umti says no Sejuani's allowed. So what that means for the jungle priority for Jin Air.
Rakan still available. We'll see if Afreeca wants to ban it, and they will.
No first pick Rakan allowed. Jin Air, now only Braum available of funnels. But seems like funnels are a little bit deprioritized. Short Taric and Master Yi. Seeing less of it recently. The Swain can still be situationally powerful, but I'm not convinced is the awe-inspiring champion. However, do Afreeca Freecs just have to pick Alistar to get rid of that Alistar Yasuo? So Alistar Swain and all the fun it can bring.
I'm sure Tucson on the Alistar. Be happy with that.
But first round is quite high to be taking an Alistar at the cost of, say, a jungle pick for Spirit. Don't know what Spirit will be favoring. He's a legendary Kindred player for the longest time.
Let's come back into the meta. We saw KT get a Game 1 win with it for Score just yesterday versus SK Telecom. But Camille has also made it through.
Gotta admit, when I see Swain, I don't instantly want to play the Camille because of being a melee champion and locked in with the Swain as the game goes on, but it is still a power pick, like you mentioned, and denial from Umti, who does default to very strong ganking junglers. He has always been playing this particular champion, the Kayn, in solo queue. It would be just a delight to see it in pro play. I don't think we will, though.
It's been quite some time.
Would he actually play it? He will.
No, he won't. It's going to be the Trundle. It's going to be the flavor of the day, it would seem.
Every time I ask for it, he kind of laughs. Same with Haru. I don't know what that's about. But not allowed in pro play, apparently, is the Kayn. Can't convince that coach, sadly.
Yeah, not going to happen. Trundle just going to be the standard. Maybe just have a very early Mundo, which maybe just rounds out with an Aatrox for the Afreeca Freecs.
Against some teams, I think this is powerful because you kind of force yourself to pick your top laner now. But the Aatrox is Keen's ultimate security. And then you say, but they'll take bot lane bans. They play random stuff in the bot lane at the best of times.
They're not worried about it.
I feel like banning out Kramer is an exercise in frustration.
I mean, the Camille could just be for Tucson.
It could be for Kramer.
You never know.
It could be anywhere, so yeah. I mean, the Mundo is still a powerful pick and sort of thing where if the game goes on, you feel like Trundle, Swain, and Mundo can definitely be some bullies in a team fight to a Zoe, especially. Looking at the bans, not all engaged supports can be accounted for, and Afreeca Freecs are looking for a bot lane in the second round. So far, just a Shen ban been the default to Tucson when all the Rakans have been banned away.
Soraka going to be the follow-up here from the side of the Afreeca Freecs.
And it's Tucson basically saying, hey, I'm going to play Alistar. Or a melee engaged support with a Soraka ban. To be fair, not a lot of supports left open when it comes to expected. The Tom Kench, we know he can play, but has not been the strong suit of Tucson compared to engage. Final ban from Jin Air. Will they just account for the Alistar and say, what else you got? They'll ban the Ezreal. So they're saying if you want a fifth pick your support, counter pick support, then you're going to have to show your bot lane awesome dude. Will Kramer pick his first attack damage carry, or is he sticking with awesome dudes? We're going to find out. He's sticking with awesome dudes.
Okay, it's going to be awesome dude. It's going to be the Vladimir.
And will Teddy also consider an awesome dude or an AD carry? Because we love to see Teddy on AD carries, and Kallista's been played to success already.
Has been, but Lucian also to be a decently strong one that can be brought through.
All right, Teddy, if you want to go for the lane, you would pick the Lucian, but so far, like all of the picks, it is not the best win rate. 1 and 3 on Lucian, but he naturally itemizes the Blade the Ruined King, which you need against the Vladimir. Tusin's going to be left to counter-pick support. Nova, another engaged specialist. What do you make of this situation? Enemy team likes to pile on, so a Janna would be delightful, but wouldn't provide that much against the Zoe poke.
And maybe it's just going to be the Alistar that Tusin would maybe have liked to get his hands on.
Oh, definitely. Afreeca wants more engaged, so definitely they'd be thinking all about the good old Alistar. What does that leave open, though?
Happen. Tahm Kench.
Doesn't really fit the comp.
Yeah.
So you wonder what he'll consider.
But
it's fine power level wise, but I guess there's really not much else when you think of meta supports. Leona wouldn't really fit the comp either. You don't want to lock down a Swain, so I guess maybe just Tahm Kench for, well, it's left over reasons. Hey!
Uh-oh.
We found engage.
Okay, it's going to be the Gragas. Unless this is going to be the jungle Gragas again for Spirit and the support Camille.
Don't talk about it. We don't talk about Spirit's AP Gragas last time out.
I'm just saying, there's that possibility.
Every time his 3 AP item Gragas altered into a Braum Unbreakable, the whole champion was useless.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd
support.
say it was maybe useless before that.
You know, that's a fair point. But support is usually where we like to see, I was going to say Gragas's plural name as Graggies. Or Gragai.
Or Gragai.
Whoa, you got an accent going on there, Achilles. But good news! It's
more
support
like a slur.
Gragas.
I was just...
Hey, no slurs! Riot Games told you one rule.
I'm sorry. I've never dropped a slur on broadcast.
I have never either. I don't recall any of those.
Oh, I remember exactly.
I just spoke a bit of French.
It was
custom cut.
They did. Should probably stop showing the Gen G one with crowns since he hasn't played yet. Just Photoshop Fly's face onto his body.
Whoa.
That is a nice
sick
Ezreal.
Ezreal right there.
Dang.
Kramer looks very handsome. We found a plane. This is a bit of a dopey plane.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like a goofy plane, you know?
Kind of looked like he was farting as well.
Whoa.
What?
I didn't see that, but that's possible.
There's definitely exhaust coming out of the back of the plane, but you know.
Well, we're hoping the plane takes off because the plane has been grounded for multiple series in a row.
Yeah.
A face check wouldn't have been helpful. Does it get the ward? All right. Big lead for the side of Afreeca.
Advantage Tusin.
Look at the history. Jin has done better than you might imagine against Afreeca Freecs in the past.
The past is the past. Hasn't been nearly as good as of late. Excuse me, go ahead and already throw.
We literally have an intro about the past.
True.
He's able to take a nice trade. Level 1 Q is forever cooldown, so you go for the never move and try to make things happen. See if Grace can have a better performance. He was, let's say, off the boil. I've said that a couple of times today. It's a nice term I have for really not performing on the Cassiopeia last time out against MVP. Grace actually had sung a couple of bad series in a row. I thought he was fine in spring. He was never really noteworthy, good or bad.
It was the Teddy PogChamp moments in spring.
Sure. But this season, I think he's been quite poor. So looking to right the ship a little bit, or right the plane, I should say.
It really has been one of those moments where you're just stuck on the runway for hours on end for Jin Air. Haven't gotten the clearance to take off yet.
Have you had that experience before, Kilios?
I have.
What was your duration of waiting?
I think about 45 minutes in a plane that
sitting in the plane, right?
Yeah, on the runway, and the plane didn't have air conditioning running until we got in the air. So I was.
Was this domestic?
No, this was international.
My record was 2.5 hours.
Coming back from LA, from Los Angeles, I forget what the trip was for.
I had 2.5 hours. That was
Yikes.
Well, it was so long that we lost the clearance, so had to wait for an open slot to actually take off, so just kind of extended on forever and ever. It wasn't ideal. It was before a 10-hour flight, too. So.
Yeah.
Flight got some extra duration. But Jin Air, you know, they just want to take off. They just need to leave. And for them, taking off this game 1 victory. This winning a game would be a start for a team that's only won 1 game all season.
Kuro just looking to push in as best as he can. Gets the trouble bubble in. He's going to draw out the flash already. On to Grace. Doesn't want to play with fire. I'm not sure.
That was very conservative. Now,
Curl
of course,
could have ignited, but even then,
Camille could have been flying over the wall at the same time, but that's scared. You know, that's a scared play. That's not reactionary. That's not an outplay. That's just scared. So, not the best look for mindset if you're making that sort of a play 3 minutes into your first game.
We have a very rough look. Just means that Curl going to have that much more power and pressure in this lane. Out of mana at the moment. Waiting on that last Corrupting Potion charge to get a little bit back, but otherwise will be lacking for the moment.
And around the same time as Flash comes up, his stopwatch will be online, so it's a lot of time for Camille with her own Flash up and her huge gank range to make a big play.
Yep. Meantime, Tucson just getting some body slams in.
Best use of the Gragas ultimate's probably going to be to ult the Swain away in team fights. Bopping the Lucian is lovely, but very unlikely to happen with the cast time. But just getting rid of the Swain is probably going to be a solid move for Tucson. See if he can have more success with the support Gragas than we saw from Spirit.
I'd like to think that this is him telling Spirit, let me show you how to play.
He taking a very aggressive trade now. He's been ahead of the curve on this Aatrox.
Yeah, start of the split was undefeated and unkilled on it. That has since changed, obviously, but still a very strong pick for Keen in the top lane. Expect him to completely bully out so on for the next while until those items start to come in on that Dr. Mundo. But as long as he keeps getting starved for CS like he is at the moment, it's going to be longer and longer. Keen can just keep applying that pressure.
As the ranged wave clear that Mundo has ranged poke as an answer, so you take the ranged wave clear, given that it does a bit of both. Emax, Aatrox, always been the way in pro play to influence the minion wave on top. Watching that continue, and I'm just kind of keeping my eyes on Spirit, who seems to be having plenty of free time on Scuttles. We already know if the wards don't catch him early, a lot of kill pressure on mid with the electrocute on the Zoe to combo.
Push in, just drops a control ward next to the blue buff. Meantime, TP back to lane and so on. Just picks up a very early Ninja Tabi.
This game goes on. We like Mundo, and honestly the whole comp, into the mid lane of Afreeca as Nova just goes for a cheeky trade.
Okay, we're going to take a lot of damage there.
Teddy uses his last bit of mana, so it's no longer really shows himself to be too much of a threat.
That, it's a Vladimir, so sustain out the wazoo.
Feels like Zoe and Lucian are the only champions that don't want to opt into everybody else rumble in the middle of the pit. There's like a mosh pit with 8 champions, and Zoe and Lucian on the outside being like, I don't know what these guys are all about. I'd like to do damage. That means potentially some big struggles for the Zoe, who needs a lot more setup time to do consistent damage in a fight compared to the Lucian. Wait and see if someone like Nova, even alone, can trivialize the Zoe while the focus is on someone like Spirit.
Every time I hear this name, I just think of my cat.
It's true. Your cat is named Nova.
Oh, push in. Looking for the blue buff here. Gonna get jumped on. Pillar. Very nicely done to interrupt that stun, but will not be getting the blue buff. Spirit just takes that away from himself.
Enemy mid laner doesn't have flash, and taking blue away from Swain will decrease his ability to control the minion wave, and in this case from the Trundle as well, so a bit of experience goes the way of the Afreeca Freecs. Always like capitalizations. It's not quite the hook shot into mid lane we might have been expecting pre-8 minutes, but still, any advantage you can get for the earlier trades that went the way of Kuro in the mid lane, good sign to see for Afreeca Freecs.
Prep on the blue buff. Tucson nearby to protect. Which means Kuro can just roam right over, take this with a paddle star. Oh, never mind. And there you go. Portal jumped in just to get that final attack. That's it for himself.
All right, so we take stock of what's happened this game. Very little, clearly. CS lead is, I guess, significant in mid, 2 minion waves, but largely because of the flash being blown and the very conservative style. CS lead at top is from Keen's aggressive posturing. He's played the Aatrox in lane. Probably the best of anyone we've seen. Sword gave him a run for his money, but to me, Keen has been the best. Only item timings to Keen will give him lane control.
Barely missing.
Put my eyes are definitely on Spirit, on this Camille, making something happen of a champion that has had so much respect earlier in the season, but has recently been overlooked in a lot of games.
Double TMS completed here. Kuro just going to throw down the Redemption, clear out the wave, get a little bit of damage on the Grace, but it's going to be very negligible so far. Just going to be slow and steady. A small little gold lead stretching here for the Afreeca Freecs, with their CS favor coming in.
Nomad's Medallion already rushed on Kramer, so as the Vladimir, especially pre, say, 3 or 4 points in your Tides of Blood, it's actually quite hard to clear waves. And you think about Vlad, and you're like, why would you go Nomad's Medallion? You know, he has so much wave clear. Think about the fact that A, he's delayed in terms of levels, and B, he usually has wave clear because as a range champion in a solo lane, he just walks up and eats the wave. In a duo lane, 2 people hit him and potentially is engaged on. So you end up missing a lot more CS as Vlad before you have 5 points in your queue, the transfusion.
I'm down towards the bot side here from Umti and Grace, but not going to be going for any sort of invade. Nice ward here just on the base of the ramp. Does spot them out. Umti will be pushing into the mid lane here, but Kuro, he'll be fine.
Plans for the movement speed coming through from the W, backs away. Trundle ganks, always pretty sad to see when he's the one trying to start them. Angle wasn't going to work for Umti that time. His ult in teamfight's going to be of pretty trivial value. I don't really know who he's going to be ulting. It is Aftershock on the Gragas, so I guess you could ult him so he dies faster, but he's kind of just a barrel, to be real. So not a huge amount of value from the Trundle ult. You can queue the Aatrox, feel pretty good about that. Speaking of Aatrox, already Jerome's Fist, already most of the way to the Titanic Hydra, and now getting some free damage onto the turret as well.
Yeah, quite a bit. Knocking it down below half HP, right as so on rejoins. Pick up the dregs of that minion wave. Otherwise, not going to be finding a whole lot. Bramble Vest completed, so looking to trade back a bit of damage there onto Keen.
Pre-rage play, that'll be pretty useful. This one is a slow burn. I think for Afreeca Freecs, who have gone down 2 series in a row, the draft is cleaner. So far, the gameplay has not had any gaping holes like it did, I would say, against Hanwha. But they also haven't been able to translate lane pressure into something like a Drake. Mountain Drake, the first spawn. Decent Baron damage when they eventually get to a great Baron turn. So a Mountain Drake start will be welcomed, not going to be seen just yet.
Well, a few Mountain Drakes that we've had so far today. It's been a lot of Cloud, Ocean, and Infernal.
I know you've been climbing your first 3 best of 3 days, so there's your Mountain as well.
It's my only one as well.
Really? There you go. I guess there's only 4 in the season. So
yeah.
If Max gets the next one, then it would be 3 Atlas, 1 Achilleos. You lose that football match. Sorry, mate.
It's all right. Things moving fast. Already a third of the way through the split.
You say that out loud, and I kind of just widen and dilate my eyes to think about how many best of 3s have already happened in 2.5 weeks. But you're right. Would have been 26 at the end of last week, because we've seen attempted an all-in.
Yeah, Keen's going to go ahead, pops the ultimate, so on going low. Can he finish him off? Looking for that final hit. Flashes in, and Keen gets the solo kill against the Mundo. Didn't stand a chance. In the meantime, Riftchild being taken in secrecy as Empty walks right by. He has no idea.
No one just gets solo killed, and we talked about command of champion and how the best Aatrox performer had been Keen. They're even trying to turn this into more with the top laner dead.
Trouble bubble in onto the blue buff.
Oh, no.
They're not pushing in, but that's going to be the first brick coming through for Afreeca. 12.5 minutes into this one. The blue buff lost now. Umti not able to secure it. Handoff very easy there onto Kuro. In the meantime, Kramer, you just ignore that for the most part. That's just tickling the Vladimir.
Both solo laners have had their down moments for the Jin Air Green Wings. Dying there is such a big cost for So1. Not sure if we're going to get a replay, but honestly, it felt like one of those moments where popping the Mundo ultimate may not have been the right choice. It took so much current damage with the 25% of current HP that he was low, and Keen saw the kill, lined it up, didn't take a lot of mechanics. Aatrox in a nutshell on this patch, and from there, death onto the Mundo. Poor play from So1, and the flow-on effect with the turret already worked over is now a pretty insanely huge Aatrox.
Well, we gotta get see the the good Aatrox plays coming through while we still can. Who knows what's gonna happen once we get the new one coming through. Umpty trying to contest for this blue buff, but Tusin's waiting in the wings, throws out that barrel. He's still forward. They're actually going to commit a TP to this. Teddy joining back in, but blue buff will just be taken here by Spirit. Not much of a consequence on the TP. Teddy just gets back in the lane.
Just realized we're going to have a eulogy for Aatrox on the last day of 8-12. Not sure when that is, not sure about the patch cycle, but we do have Rift Rivals coming up, so who knows, might only be a week of 8-12 in Korea.
We'll have to see. That extended little break might be enough for us to move up to the next patch.
It's usually, what, 1 week from when it goes live. It went live today, so it wouldn't be live for next week, but it would be live for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So I guess Aatrox only got a week here.
Man, that's the other thing. It's going to be a long break for the next cast. 16 days, I think.
For your next cast.
For my next cast.
Damn.
For League of Legends.
Pop Kilios podcast on break for a while.
On pause.
Well, that's when we get it, but actually, it's going to be on.
That's true. I see what you did.
As Keen is comically far ahead of Mundo, who going for Bramble Vest means he doesn't have the Sunfire Cape to try to take any sort of trades, and thus has a whole lot of nothing.
I mean, looking at almost a 3,000 gold lead here with just 1 kill on the board.
And I would assume 2,000 of that is on the Aatrox.
Quite a lot of it, yeah. First brick, first blood. Getting those bonuses in. Jin able to get a dragon. So hey, can't get perfect games now.
That burning agony is the sound of what it's spelled as.
Yeah. That ability is pretty on the nose for Jin.
Definitely. Sadplane.jpg also on the nose. Kramer has pieced himself together some initiation. He's got the Spellbinder and also Boots 2. I want to see something out of the Gragas. Show me a sick cask. When the cask was changed, the ultimate to have that fixed travel time, I remember sitting there at the prep meeting for Worlds 2016, which is actually when the Gragas was changed. And the big story was, are we going to see people ult Flash? Because you can cancel the animation with Flash. I've only ever seen it in a pro game once, and it's such a specific mechanic that isn't always relevant, that I would love to see it again. But you can ult, buffer it, Flash, and do some cool stuff. It's a lot of damage from Teddy.
We'll get hit by that Hemo Plague, so Kramer going to get a bit back. But yeah, the Lucian, with that Blade of the Ruin King already completed, is doing quite a bit. In the meantime, though, Rift Herald going to be summoned into the mid lane. Afreeca looking to bust this map wide open.
Need a couple of hits. Not going to just get it with one single charge from Shelly.
Smite coming through to help mitigate some of that damage. So on also arriving, so not going to get the finish on the tower, but a heck of a lot of damage here. Afreeca's still comfortably ahead, so don't think you can be too disappointed with that.
Being able to finally get some harass-free CS and bot is happening from Kramer. Keen goes back top, 2/3 of the way towards his Rage Blade. His Rage will be undeniable. New champion, really, with the rework. More of an 80 caster, Ribbon-esque. And the change, haven't looked at it too closely because we focused on this patch, but I wonder if he just goes on the bench and we kind of have this weird scenario where no one ever played Aatrox, then people started playing him, and the rework ironically came out at the same time, and then no one ever played him again.
It's just the way she goes.
Unfortunate.
Quite. Ribbon's somebody, a champion that I would like to see more of. It's been a while.
I wonder if Rageblade had never existed at this power level, if we'd ever have seen Aatrox. Because the Rageblade really does complement the kit fully and make him a bit over the top. Phantom Hit is a very cool mechanic.
Battlestar coming through. Ooh.
Another cool mechanic.
Yeah.
Remember your health bar? Now it's gone. A magic trick.
It's a great magic trick. Yeah, the Trouble Bubble into Battlestar. It's a pretty good trick.
Brought Zoe a second life after she was just the most target nerfed back on, what, 8.3 maybe?
It's been a while.
Early in the year. Grace, apart from flashing,
got a blue buff.
very, very scared fashion, has pretty much done nothing. Got a blue buff. Jam. Can he turn it into a team fight? That'd be nice. He has flash. He has his stasis ability. Wonder where the blasting buff is going. Maybe Leandres?
Could be. In the meantime, Kramer taking a lot of damage. To go into the pull, Cullen coming down too soon, body slamming in onto Nova, trying to prevent any further aggression. TP's being channeled. He's gonna go ahead and finish this one off. He dives straight in, but he's all on his lonesome. As the passive, but can they keep him alive? Umpty gonna go golden, flashes beside there from Keen, keeps himself in the fight. Into the back goes Spirit, finds the kill onto Umpty. Now looking for So-On, but he's got the ult taken away. And Grace has isolated himself, will find a kill onto the support, but he'll trade that one back as he goes down. Keen finding that kill. 3-1, a 2-for-1 in the fight. Afreeca Freecs still ahead.
When you're against a Zoe, trading like that is certainly far from even. 2-for-1, already a bad sign, and the Zoe makes any sort of siege that much more powerful. Spirit's just chilling, waiting around, looking for further exit kills. Afreeca Freecs have their eyes trained upon this outer bot lane turret. Spirit for any bonus ones, and hey, what about 3 outer turrets in one go?
Seems like a good deal for the Afreeca Freecs. Spirit still hovering nearby, just keeping track of everybody. Turret going to fall. A slow one with the Vladimir and Zoe, but they get it in the end. 3-0 in that regard. Afreeca keep pushing forward.
Kurog staying around with Kramer, knowing that if Teddy was still there, who knows, potentially a chase down could happen. Clear out the scuttle, they back away. Aatrox has some pretty sick duds. He's definitely got a lot going on in that inventory. Went Berserker Greaves, so a lot of respect shown by Keen this game. Probably not a lot earned, to be honest.
He's turning into a monster. 2-0-1, Rage Blade completed. Still has the stasis even. He's just going to do R-rated things in these team fights. So Generic can turn something around. They're going to try here. It's just another TP in from Teddy, rather.
Do we have to turn the stream off during those moments?
You know, maybe. That, or we need everyone to verify their age.
That's true. Well, Afreeca, once again, posturing. They've got all their AoE ultimates up, so could be a big wombo. Spirit walks up. Drake's falling down fast.
They are. Will be taken here by Jin. Their second Drake. The cloud onto the side. Big cast coming through. Knocks him in. One going down as Grace falls. Nowhere really for them to go. So-On taken down. It's just going to be a slaughter here for the Afreeca Freecs. Teddy and Nova, the bot lane of Jin, the only surviving members. They get a Cloud Drake, but that's about it. Could just be a Baron over to Afreeca.
Gonna watch the replay. Yes, the Drake goes down, but as soon as you see two-man Hemoplague, and Tucson actually monsters this fight. That is the sort of cast play we weren't seeing from Spirit last time out. Don't need ability power. The CC can be that good. He cleans up the kill. Mundo. Now that is some good play on Squawkraga. This is, let's have a pause.
There's like, hey. Oh, maybe we have a bit of a serious issue.
Seems like something in Umti's eye.
Yeah, might have something in his eye.
Unsure about contacts or anything like that?
So yeah, he's got something in his eye. So, as a glasses wearer, they only do so much to protect your eyes.
This is a player issue, in case you're wondering.
Yep. Not a toilet issue.
No, we had one of those yesterday.
Good old Mata.
And not the other kind of player issue. This is about players. I mean, he could also be a player. We're not sure. But
we don't keep track of.
No. We're all about what happens on the Rift, Achilles.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's happening on the Rift, Kuro seems pretty content with what's happening on the Rift. Things are going pretty well.
This guy's got his nice little ward stickers on his headset.
What brand is that headset, sorry?
That'd be Sennheiser.
Nice.
I approve.
I believe they're one of the sponsors of my pilot episode a few days ago.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good sponsor to have.
Thank you. I work very hard.
Congratulations on that one.
Is it wrong that every time I see the sign for plain vanilla investment?
I was just about to comment on
It's a new sponsor. It's a sticker on the jersey. I don't know what's going on there.
I would really like to know what that sponsor is all
Isn't
about.
that working? Because I really need to know more.
It's really good marketing.
I know.
Just have a really strange name, and then everyone wants to Google it to find out. It's quite good.
Oh, we found some moist towelettes.
Yeah, we're getting him the moist towelettes to try to fix this problem.
In Korea, that's called a mul tissue, which mul is water, so it's a water tissue.
This is correct. This is our second eye issue that we've had. The split,
That's
I do
true.
believe. Sword had one, didn't he?
That's right, yes.
But seems like maybe it's taken care of. The glasses are back on.
That means he's ready to go.
So seems like whatever was plaguing him is now gone.
What could possibly have gotten his eye? in
I
a
don't know.
booth. He was in.
Salt.
It could be. Well, I guess makeup is a possibility. That was raised by Joel. Thank you, Joel.
Could be makeup.
Joel, popping onto raid call for a moment just to let us know.
He's calling his way back. He's trying to earn his way back into Discord.
He just said stop, by the way.
I really wish that his voice went out to live. That would be great. He's really not happy with the raid call comments.
Well,
but here we go.
The Baron
back into the game.
was already started, and Umti didn't need to adjust his sight for the smite because he's dead.
Yep, that's just going to be a very easy take here. Nearly 9,000, or almost 10,000 gold really in the lead here for the Afreeca Freecs.
Man, the top lane solo kill had such a flow-on effect to this game. It was the most even game before then, but so many things went bad at the same time. 2 Drake takes, not going to be enough to wrestle back any sort of momentum here. This is the laziest 9,000 gold lead you could ever see.
I think we found it. We've always found a way to torment our translators. We found the way to torment Joel. Before it was calling Robin George, and now we have it calling Joel raid call.
By the way, C9 Robin is the Robin you're talking about there.
That is true, yes.
Now of London
correct.
Spitfire of Undersight League.
The Undersight League.
Yes.
The USL.
Maybe I should call them the Undersight League. I'm trying to think of a really quaint word for league. I don't have anything. But the Afreeca Freecs have a lot. They got everything this game. They're so far ahead, and 1-2 super play is really all we've seen, so I asked for it, I received it. Tucson walks up, we're waiting for his next cast. Only as good as your last cast, of course, as it always goes.
Turns out the last one was pretty good. So maybe he just won't use it again.
That's true.
Go out on a high note. Don't ruin it.
It means shorter cooldown in the next game.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jin need to pack up for the next game just yet, but the creeping doubt is certainly there.
Well, it's 400 gold away from a 10k gold lead, so it's looking pretty bad for them as they just go ahead and bleed yet another objective. 4-0 in the towers. Double bubble connecting onto the Alistair. No follow-up paddle star, but it's just going to be another tower falling. Kramer in the meantime is bringing up the wave in top, and no one is contesting him yet.
Would it be better for Zoe Balance if they added some damage to places and made it so that if you CC'd her during the portal jump, she actually stayed CC'd?
That might be neat.
Like stun or snare, not slow, obviously.
I still feel like the paddle star should only do its massive amount of damage if you're hit by the double bubble.
I just feel like there's so few good things to do when Zoe's ahead that it is frustrating. Like you can't CC her, it's hard to kill her, she's so far away.
Oh, here comes another one. See, like, this is when she should be rewarded for her artillery fire, is when she lands the first skill shot.
Agreed.
Otherwise, it's
Charm
just,
kind of situation from Ahri.
just given the cooldown of the paddle star, it's just very low risk, very high reward, just tossing them out all willy-nilly. Especially when she's a blue buff.
Well, they're taking down turrets pretty willy-nilly.
Well, that's going to be Spirit getting jumped on. Has a Guardian Angel. Not going to get popped. He barely makes it out of there. No, will get popped in the backside, but now it's going to be Kramer going forward as that Hemo Plague thrown down. And Nova is just going to get ripped apart in the meantime. Keen, yet again, running Solana around. Grace going to get jumped on. He'll go low. Night ticking away, but he can make it back to the mountain with his life. But that's the first inhibitor falling. The second one in mid coming up very shortly.
He was zoned for a lot of that fight, so couldn't actually spread his lead to a dark fight into the back line, but still able to get 2 inhibitors and back away. Objective complete from Afreeca Freecs. They know the next push should be the one to close the game. Keen is unassailable, so insanely powerful. I wonder if Frozen Mallet will be his next option. We've seen that a couple of times on the Aatrox.
Why the hell not at this point?
How about Asterix for extra attack damage that actually works well with the Rage Blade?
He can do just about whatever he wants at this point. If he wanted to build a Zonia's, I wouldn't judge him.
I would.
Why not? Zonia's into passive for just the never dying
I'm just saying I would judge him.
Okay.
A Guardian Angel would have been just as clean and would have had more attack damage. As that was a pretty sick Baron buff power play, guys. We're lucky to see 5 to 8k, but the 10.6...
That's it, yeah. I wonder what the highest one that we've ever had is. I would like to know what the highest in all of competitive play would be.
Well, there's some way they just win the
tracking.
game and you actually don't end up getting that much.
That's true.
A high Baron power play is usually all of the turrets are up and you like take 6 turrets with the Baron buff minions and maybe even more. They're not always super interactive. I guess like 6 turrets and an ace would be the god tier.
Just absurd. 14,000 gold in the lead.
We've definitely cast a game, the two of us, where the first Baron happened before the first turret went down.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened.
I remember a game like that. It felt notable at the time. This one doesn't feel notable. It's pretty by the numbers by Afreeca. They've been clean. This is what the coach have been looking for. The draft is a lot more clean. Kramer rolls up. He's got 3 items, so he's really ready to put a ring on it with this 3-item Zonia's Flash Kramer ready to go. This man commits.
I think Jin wants out of this relationship, but Kramer's not taking no for an answer. He's just going to go in. Still poking around the top side. He's ready to go to Vegas.
Just waiting for the moment
with the little chapel.
Need the minion waves to crash before the chapel can open. Gilios. Being patient is the Afreeca Freecs. Top lane minion wave comes in. Nova going for something.
Yeah, they're looking for Tucson. They're actually going to get him. Then he finds the kill. Kramer going in. Already popped the pull. Seems like this is actually going to be Afreeca getting dissuaded. Good catch there on Tucson. Loses out on the Knight. Can't use the flash to get away.
With the minion wave still having to come closer, they're not going to get any relevant damage onto this inhibitor turret either. So it does end up being a successful defense from Nova. Nicely played by him. Try to walk up again. Keen is still just the hugest monster, so they have to be careful around the Aatrox. He can definitely 1v3. Maybe even 1v4. No exhaust to impede him, and they just go for a freebie as Keen doesn't get in on first try.
It's all right. He's got the Dark Flight. He made up for it. He didn't quite stick the landing, but it was still, you know, an 8 out of 10.
Now you reminded me about the sad.
About the
Oh, Jin looking to match BBQ's game score because BBQ did win their second game of the season. Jin stranded on 1. They took down King's Own Dragon X, but nothing else good to show for themselves in the summer season.
Yeah, it's hard to stick the landing when you can't get off the ground.
Yeah.
I guess if you wanted to say that the plane was crashing, it's crashing on the runway. They ran into the hangar.
The worry is that the glass half full thing is that the plane is in for repairs, and the glass half empty is that it's a dilapidated plane. So, yeah. Unfortunately, game on game, you kind of feel how we see both sides of that particular equation. A lot of good to show for themselves in this game either. Kind of passengers in a game where Afreeca have been good. We're walking out with all the stacks. It's 1.9 attack speed, 300 AD if you don't mind on the Aatrox.
Yeah, he'll just draw everybody down to the bottom side, and Afreeca will scoop up another Baron. He's pushing forward. Dark Flight going to be used.
Can they kill him?
Probably not, but Cleaver comes in for some damage in the slow. Nova as well, wrapping around the side. He's just going to pop the ultimate, do as much as he can to distract them. We'll get taken down here. Starks pop, back up, Dark Flight to the side. He's a little bit HP back, but he will die in the end. But it was a perfectly good distraction. He'll respawn in about 50 seconds, has the TP ready to go.
We'll waste the first 50 seconds of the Baron, you'd imagine, so
yeah.
Does mean that another pick that they got from Nova earlier could herald another delay in the game, and the delay also buys them time to push out their minion waves while the inhibitors respawn. So, slivers of good news for Jin, but the future proclamations are still negative. They are down 13,000 gold. The Vladimir has certainly got a lot of items. The GA alive on Spirit again. When it comes to 5 champions running at each other, hard to see how Jin engineer any sort of turnaround. As well, at least Teddy's KDA is under par.
He's still in the positives. 1-0, he's been farming up a storm. Can he hold off? Can he pull off the miracle delay in the base yet again?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sadly, no. A lot of those nerfs came out because of the SKT versus Jin series, stacking elder buffs, Baron getting stronger, all the good stuff was to stop Jin from delaying, so Riot said no more to the 94-minute games, and thus to Jin was a bit of a relative nerf.
Oh, 2 more minutes on the Baron. Keen hovering around in the mid lane. The inhibitors have respawned. Afreeca looking to take those yet again while this buff is still active. Just bringing up the waves in all 3 lanes at the moment, while Jin desperately trying to clear them out. See what the opening is going to be. Will we see another big cask from Tucson? Will it just be Kuro blowing somebody up?
Waiting for the big engage. Tucson, the most likely to pull it off. Speaking of big engage,
Pulverize coming in from Nova, finds Zoo, keeps jumping into the backside. Half HP there on Kramer, goes into the pool. In the meantime, Spirit's in the back, has Teddy locked down, but nobody else is joining him. Spirit has to run away in the meantime. It's going to be Nova going down. Kuro's able to finish off Grace. This should just be it right here. A triple kill coming through for Keen at the end. A double to round it out for Kuro. Inhibitor will be taken, the minions will be ushered in, and the Nexus will crumble. 32 minutes on the board, 12-3. Afreeca take game 1 very concisely.
ladies and gentlemen, that is what a 13,000 gold lead looks like when you go against a team comp that